Hey, it's ZekeTalk, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name's Jim Tudor, and with us tonight is Michael Anderson. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing okay. Yes, I am Michael Anderson, filmmaker and Jedi Knight sometimes.
Oh, good. And Kristin Keck is with us again. Kristin,
Hello.
and where are you?
It's the hair.
It's the hair.
Yes, Mike's Jedi hair.
Oh.
The full Anakin there.
And the beard.
It's very nice. Very nice.
The
Where am I?
Skywalker,
I'm
yeah.
here. Be here now.
You're there.
I'm there. It's very zen. I'm in Kansas City, so.
Okay, Kansas City, as is. And Mike, and then I'm in St. Louis, so we're all within the Missouri area.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the perfect
The
state.
Midland Empire, as it
Talk
were.
about show business.
Sure.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
If you listen closely, you can hear the stars just flying over.
That's right. Contrary to popular belief, there are people that care about things other than sports and crops out here. So let's do this. We're here to talk about Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Yes.
Which we actually haven't done yet on this show. So
oddly enough, it seems like
Really?
the sort of thing that we would have, but no.
Not at all?
No, not at all.
Oh,
So at the time of this recording, Star Wars: The Last Jedi has been out for well over 1 month. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and open the floodgates to all manner of spoilers about the film. So,
So if you haven't seen the movie yet and you're afraid of spoilers, turn off now.
all right, they're gone. So can you believe that? That movie. No, I remember when The Force Awakens came out, and it seemed like around the internet, fans were very respectful not to spoil the major, reveals that movie had until about 1 month to the day. Then all of a sudden you start getting all kinds of memes about who Kylo Ren is and Han Solo getting killed and all that. And that just all of a sudden filled the web. So we're past that point with this movie.
there you go.
Yep. No, the story about seeing The Force Awakens was, Jen and I saw it like about a week or so after it came out, and there's some kids behind us, and one of the kids had to use the bathroom in the middle of the movie, and the moment he came back, he was like, "Mom, has Han Solo been killed yet?"
Oh,
That's beautiful.
Yep.
I think I did that for you, didn't I, on one of the first ones? When Qui-Gon died?
It's possible.
well, you were still in
It was
St.
on, it was
Louis.
on this. It was on the soundtrack or something, and I
Yeah.
that's the one where that's
Yeah.
when
Well,
he
yeah,
dies, and Mike was like, "He what?" Yeah,
There's-
sorry.
Yeah, there was a track on the CD case, which came out 3 weeks before the movie opened, called "The Funeral of Qui-Gon Jinn." At the very last
Yes.
end of the tracks, yeah. So
Yeah.
that word got out that there is a spoiler on the back of the CD case, and I remember being at Target, holding the CD case in my hands and going, "Don't turn it over! Don't turn it over!"
Don't look. You'll be sad.
And I
if you
think I
do.
missed to not look at it, but I went in not knowing that was the spoiler that Qui-Gon Jinn dies, but I kind of figured he would. But but anyway, The Last Jedi.
Yes.
A lot of vitriol, a lot of hate, a lot of anger over this film. How do you guys feel? Kristin, how do you feel about The Last Jedi? I kind of know what Mike thinks.
I feel like it was a pretty good movie. In fact, it was probably two pretty good movies, sort of slammed together in odd ways.
Yeah.
And it ends like 7 or 8 times, which was annoying after a while. Like, and now it's going to end. No, okay. And now it's getting okay.
Yeah, this gives Return of the King, a run for its money.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Does it? See, I thought I knew what the ending was, which was the shot before it goes to the little boy with the broom in the stable and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's on the Millennium Falcon, and there's one of these, wide shots that closes a Star Wars movie. That was a little of a weird canted angle, but it was still suitable for that. Everybody kind of hanging out, and it would have been the right, iris closed. And hey, we're trying to. Anyway, then it went to this next scene, which I suspected that it was going to be,
It was going to be young Boba Fett. Say it.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I got distracted there. I thought that it was, the movie was over, and then when we got that next scene, I thought, this seems like the kind of thing that they thought up and said, "Oh, but it's just so good." It kind of goes against form for what we expect for Star Wars. I don't know that we've ever had ended on a such a side character before.
Yeah.
We always end on somebody we know.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's not that many people. This ends on this little boy. What do you guys think about that, the ending that was the ending?
I didn't mind it. I think what Ryan Johnson was going for. It's like, Luke Skywalker is the spark that really starts the rebellion, and it's someone who is inspired by the events of the movie. A kid. So I get what he's going for, and the fact that it's different from the 7, 8 movies that's gone before it.
How many?
It's like that doesn't bother me that much.
It is.
It isn't like where's my group shot at the end?
Yeah.
You, Ryan Johnson.
We didn't really have the group shot at the end of Force Awakens either. In fact, that's more of a deviation than this was, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Where it ends on this cliffhanger where they're standing on the hill. That's more different from what we're used to.
I have to admit, as we drove to meet Mike and Jen and see this movie, Heather, my wife, turned to me and said, "So what happened in the last one?" And neither one of us could actually remember.
Oh gosh,
where the previous movie stopped.
Oh,
so I'm going to say that we didn't connect with it particularly, because the only thing that I clearly remember is Han Solo, of course, because that was a real blow to the heart. But
literally,
and the very strange shot. I thought it was very odd that when the reveal that Kylo has Darth Vader's helmet, because the way it was shot, to me, it looked a lot like he was sitting on it.
In Force Awakens?
In Force Awakens. Yes, he was sitting on it. It's just, they panned past him, and it just, for some reason, looked to me a lot like he had been sitting on the helmet.
Like he was trying to hatch the helmet into a new...
Yes!
new baby.
Which is a weird thing to do. It's like it was made of chocolate, and he sat on it, and that's why it was melted. It was just very strange. So... I think it's safe to say I did not particularly connect with the Force Awakens movie.
Okay.
And that was part of the reason that I personally felt like this movie, The Last Jedi, was just way too long. I mean, it's a 2 hour...
Two and a half
hour movie that drags in just under 6 hours. God, it felt long.
It's the longest one.
It's not lack of action, because everything was happening all the time. I mean, so much happened on screen. Many, many things happened, and yet it's still I kept thinking, how long is this thing? When is it going to end? Is it Tuesday yet? I don't know.
You're ready to go home.
The thing is, you know,
Yes.
it hits such a big high point with, you know, when the Admiral goes to light speed and they destroy all the Imperial ships, and it's just, and they're escaping, and you think, you know, and plus, you know, that's just when they had the big lightsaber duel with Kylo Ren and Rey going up against all the guards,
the red guys,
all the bad guys, and the ships are breaking apart, and you think, you know, this would be the place to end it.
Right.
You know, but then, oh no, there's a whole other siege. And it's like, oh, this is going on for another half hour. And it's not that the last half hour is bad. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff in the last half hour with the ships, you know, and the red dust and the big final showdown between Luke Skywalker.
The Crystal Foxes, I love them. Okay, fine, just me, but still, I love them.
I want a whole Christmas tree full of crystal foxes next year.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That
Ornaments.
would be excellent. No, I mean that's all fantastic, but you know, it just seems like that was one climax too many, or possibly two climaxes too many. You know, I heard that
Are we receiving a message? Mike?
Mike
is
frozen.
He's frozen. Oh my God.
Oh my. Well, that's creepy.
I'll just finish what he was going to say.
Okay.
He was going to say that he heard the casino sequence was too long and unnecessary, and that's what should have got lopped out of the movie, because you know, it's side characters on a side mission that ends up actually being for nothing.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think about that whole business with Finn and Rose on the casino planet?
You know, I'm very much of two minds about that, because in theory, I appreciate the fact that it didn't go anywhere. I do appreciate the fact that here's a wildly complicated plan that just fizzled out. It didn't do a damn thing.
Right.
But on the other hand, yeah, that was another half an hour we could have lost. And I like Rose.
Yeah,
I really do. I honestly do. She's a lot of fun, and seems like one of the most level-headed people we've ever met in the Star Wars universe. So that's fabulous. And I like the big, I've forgotten their name. It begins with an F. The horse, cat, dog things that they were racing.
Oh, those alien horses.
The big CGI doohickeys, yeah.
Yeah, those are alien horses.
Alien horses, fine.
I don't know. I don't know.
It doesn't begin with that, but all right.
That's okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't remember.
Once upon a time in my life, I absolutely would have known this. But today, I don't.
No. And I like a lot of the bits of it, but it seems like, hi, Mike, you're back.
I'm back, yeah.
Oh, good. I was just going
Thank goodness.
Nonchalantly text you and be like, Mike, where
How are you, Mark?
Mike is back.
Mike is back, yay! But I don't think it was necessary for this movie, and it may have been a good movie all on its own. The casino sequence with the big alien horse things, and which I love. I love the big alien horse things. I mean, I like Rose. I like a lot of bits of that. I like the thief guy. His name is DJ.
Yeah.
That confuses me. I mean, it kind of confuses me that Rose's name is Rose, because
that's a normal name.
Yeah, it really is. Rose and Paige, really? Okay.
Yeah, Luke isn't that different.
It's also
no, Luke is not bad, but you know, in a universe of Qui-Gon and Jinn and Yoda and Boba Fett and Kylo Ren.
There's still people that call Han Solo Hans.
Hans.
Yeah, they do.
I've never heard that.
They do. There's people that don't know Star Wars. That you can always, that's an immediate indicator that you're.
Yeah. You know, it was years and years and years before anyone ever pointed out to me that Luke Skywalker was Luke S.
Yes. Was that me? I may have pointed that out.
Maybe, but
that was one of my favorite.
My mind is now blown. You're right. It is.
Yeah. I used to tell people that. Yeah, no.
But I was going to say that what sort of what The Last Jedi in many ways reminds me of is Fargo, and in that there are a lot of narrative threads that seemingly don't go anywhere, and the casino sequence is one of those. And I remember the first time that I saw Fargo, and I saw it with a couple of my friends who were big Coen Brothers fanatics. And, when we came out of it, I was the only one that was like, I really enjoyed that. And the other were, my friends were like, I'm not sure about that. That was kind of a weird movie. It's like, because there are digressions, and not everything is neat and tidy. And the big casino sequence is basically, one of the big criticisms that I've seen of it is that it accomplishes nothing. They go and they get the guy from the casino who's the only guy who can hack into the Empire, and so they get into the Empire, and then he betrays them, and it is all for nothing. And so a lot of people are like, we spent all that screen time on nothing.
They had to
and
that guy off.
It's like
for nothing.
The sequence in the restaurant again with Mike Yamaguchi.
Well, the thing
people get very uncomfortable, it seems like, with narrative digressions, because the way that the movies are structured normally is that every scene basically goes back to the narrative, and every scene has a purpose. And when you get into a digression like, what was that all about? That had nothing to do with the story. Then you get a lot of get a lot of blowback from it. It's like it's the big casino sequence. Yeah, but it really doesn't have anything to do with the story.
Well, I say it doesn't have. It does.
Well, it does. But
what you mean? It's like in the case of Fargo, I think you mean it doesn't have anything to do with the plot.
Yeah.
It is part of the fabric of the story.
Definitely.
Yeah. Which I think maybe you're getting to. Are those scenes really unnecessary? Are they really pointless?
Are they pointless? That's the question. I don't necessarily think that they are. I do agree that they do go on for a while. I hear that the initial cut was like over 3 hours, like 3.5 hours. And I was like, I keep wondering, maybe if they had made 2 movies out of this, it might have been better, at least better paced. Because it's at the one point it's very overstuffed, very long, but at the same point a lot of stuff gets like really rushed in the middle. So Rich,
at what point do you say this is 2 movies?
Yes.
What we've done here is made 2 movies.
Yeah.
It would mess up the whole trilogy thing though, because no matter how long this one is, it's still the middle of a trilogy. So if you cut it in half and make it 2, you'd end up with episode 8 part 1 and episode 8 part 2.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh boy, and I'm surprised they haven't considered that, because we'd go. But
this is one of those that there were really not many good options. Once they got all the footage, and you're sort of committed. You got Benicio del Toro. You're not going to leave him on the cutting room floor,
unless you're Terrence Malick.
Yeah.
Well, my
I just figured that was set.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was
I
switching.
just figured that's set up for the third movie.
What?
We're going to see that character again. We're going to see DJ again. He's going to play maybe a more important role in the third movie in the sense of, I don't know, being a spy on the inside or something like that.
Either that, or he's going to show up in the first. He's going to show up in the first 10 minutes and then get, dumped into the Sarlacc pit. So.
Okay, that would also be interesting. Like the boy at the end is. To me, I mean, the shot is lovely, and I like the idea of that. And then I think, sequel bait. Okay.
Well, I don't know. I don't necessarily expect to see that boy at the end again, and I don't know that I even expect to see Benicio del Toro again.
Okay.
I think the point of Del Toro is to show that, to really put a button on the fact that in this chapter, things aren't working. You think that, like, well, at least they're going to come out of this with a new ally. They've got a new Han Solo or a new Lando Calrissian or whoever this guy's going to wind up being kind of like. He reminds us of those characters, but then, he does the thing that those guys didn't do. He actually takes the money of this desperate organization and just leaves. But not before making the point that no one is innocent in all of this. That the war profiteers were, it was the rebellion and the empire, to use the old terms. The what is it? The resistance and the first order.
Resistance in the first order.
Yeah. So we now have this moral gray area, which there's always been a moral gray area in Star Wars, but what Rian Johnson seems to be doing in this movie is really letting it be pronounced.
Definitely. And the other thing is, he's making our heroes a lot more fallible than normal. You have the casino subplot. Our heroes fail. It's what's his Oscar Isaac. He fails.
Yeah, Poe.
Poe Dameron, yes.
Yeah.
That guy.
That guy,
Okay, wait. You had a reaction there. What's that all about?
Mostly to his name, Poe. I mean,
yeah.
I'm finding it very difficult.
It's a Teletubby name.
Yes.
Well, I think had they known that Anakin was going to be this main character for 3 movies, they may have gone with something a little cooler sounding than that. In Return of the Jedi, but Poe. I know Dameron is apparently the last name of J.J. Abrams' assistant, but Poe, I don't know where that came from.
Oh, the Teletubbies. It had to be.
Sure.
Yes.
So you were just laughing at his name. You weren't laughing at anything.
I'm laughing at his name.
The character. And all
he's very cute. I don't know what else to say about him.
I'm
having a hard time connecting to the new cast, and that's really it. Yeah. Okay. At various points, I was sitting there thinking, if I cared about any of these characters, this would be really gripping. But I just don't.
Do you care, Mike?
I care.
I do. I care.
I'm going to spit tea all over somebody else's laptop. Thank you.
Aw. Is it your wife's laptop? Are you going to get in trouble?
Yes, it is my wife's. Okay. And she just yells from the other room, do not break my laptop.
We'll see. The show's not over yet.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, okay, anyway. No, don't do that. Just be careful.
No. I'm not going to do that.
Yes.
I have connected with the cast, the new cast, more than Kristin has, obviously. So, I like them. I mean, but it's one of those going into this. We're sort of reaching the point where the moment you realize you're not the fandom that they're going for anymore.
Yeah.
Even though there are a lot of lot of places in here that are, sort of tailor-made for us, fans of the original trilogy.
Sure.
When J.J. Abrams announced that they were going to use models.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When Rian Johnson brought back Yoda and he was a puppet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All these little touches.
That was for us.
It makes sense that Yoda's a puppet, though, because first, like in chronological order, first he's this digital Yoda. Then in Empire Strikes Back, he turns into a puppet, which is episode 5. And 6, he's dead. He's a puppet, dead. And now he's still dead. And
he's a dead puppet.
Yes. More powerful than we could possibly imagine.
Yes.
He can summon lightning. That's a new thing. We got some new powers in this movie, which some people were kind of like, huh?
Yeah, I don't mind that because first of all, this is only like chapter 9. And it's like
it's 8.
Yeah, well, I keep putting Rogue One in there. It's a nice movie. So
okay.
So it's episode 8.
Technically new.
No.
The Emperor could do lightning.
Yeah, but I thought only bad guys could do that. And
fried Luke.
Yeah.
It's the Force. He's just using the Force. It's not
right.
It's like we haven't really,
alliance specific.
We haven't explored the Force in great detail. It's like, what it can and can't do. Well, it's like, maybe no one ever tried to, fly through the vacuum of space.
Yeah, and Force ghosts, that's something that, we're told in a little tossed off moment at the end of episode 3 that Qui-Gon Jinn in the afterlife figured out how we can all be Force ghosts now.
Yeah,
so
it wasn't a thing before.
Not a thing. So Yoda figured out how we can blow stuff up even from the dead. And then he used his great power to blow up the first Jedi temple, full of the original books. Or was it?
Oh.
Now, you guys, when I first saw the movie, I did not notice the shot on the Millennium Falcon at the end. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Where he gets the blanket and there's those old books. Ray took them. So, which tells us two things: that we're not abandoning the past legacy after all, even though these aged Jedi say it's time to do that. Yoda, as we know, has been wrong about a lot of things before. As wise as he is it possible that even as a omnipotent Force ghost, he still didn't know she swiped the books?
No, I think that Yoda totally knew. Yeah. He was just fooling Luke. He was telling things from a certain point of view. When Yoda said, everything that she needs, she has.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, he did say that.
From a certain point of view.
Right. Oh. Yep. Okay, so she could go read some great page turners. Yeah. Were you happy to see Yoda?
Yeah, of course I was happy to see Yoda. Yes.
But happy to see the happy Yoda.
Yeah.
Yeah, not General in the War Yoda.
Yeah, well, he didn't have much of a sense of humor in those. On the other hand, there was a lot going on in his life at that point.
Yeah.
Now that he's dead, he's much more relaxed.
Right. But, even before then, he was on Dagobah. He'd already cracked up.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you get the feeling that, Obi-Wan and Yoda as Force ghosts are like, Luke's, it looks like Luke's at the end of his life, Can we mess with him a little bit more?
Oh. Why stop now? Yeah.
Let's go and blow some stuff up. That'll be fun. See that tree? Okay.
It's what Luke needed, though, to come out of his shell and go do what he did. which a lot of people don't understand why Luke had his change of heart. You know, he's this curmudgeon the entire movie, and then he has a little meeting with Yoda, and then the next time we see him, it's the astral projection come to save the day. Did you buy it?
Yeah, I bought it.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. I don't see the problem with this.
Okay, well, there were people that had a problem. They said we needed another scene that tells us, that explains.
No, we don't need any more scenes in this movie. No.
Maybe that was
no
one
more
of the,
scenes.
It got cut out, you know, so that they could have time for Benicio del Toro.
So that they could run some more alien horses through the casino, which was fabulous.
Yes.
But, you know, there was a lot of that.
I greatly enjoyed it.
I mean, I enjoy massive destruction by huge animals as much as the next person.
There has to be a standalone novel about Justin Theroux's James Bond-esque character, the real guy.
What? Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be a trilogy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he met his death at the horses, but or at least he's probably pretty banged up now. But yeah.
Yeah.
He
doesn't have a ship anymore.
No, they took that.
They took the ship. So.
Friends, yeah.
Friends the red one.
Well, their whole time they're running from these traffic cops.
Yes.
You know, these very aggressive traffic cops on that planet. Yeah, which are in some ways more effective than original trilogy stormtroopers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not till the BB-8 fires money all over them. Now, did you know that the creature in the casino who put money into BB-8 was Mark Hamill?
I had read that, yes.
Yeah, as a motion capture. Yeah, that's a little Easter egg.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. Well, let's gosh, I guess we should actually move to wrapping this up if possible.
Okay.
What else is there? What major points have we not hit yet? Well, they killed Luke Skywalker. Is that okay?
I think it's okay, and plus he's going to show up as a Force ghost in the next movie. I can't see that not happening.
Yeah.
In fact, I predict, and I hope they filmed this. I predict Force ghosts at the very, very end. The way Luke looked over and saw the three ghosts of Obi-Wan and Yoda, and then his father appears.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll have a similar moment at the end of 9. Maybe. Of all the dead original cast.
So you think Hayden Christensen is going to come back as a Force ghost, father and son?
I so hope not.
If they would have done that,
I'm sorry, I said that out loud, didn't I?
I am not. Well, you're probably in the majority. I'm not opposed to that, although I doubt they do it. First of all, he's a lot older now. It wouldn't look the same. They could de-age him digitally or whatever, but it would be odd. There were rumors that Hayden Christensen shot his scenes for Episode 8 a few years ago. That's on the cutting room floor, if there's any truth to it at all. But yeah, it would have made more sense to see him in this one. I mean, he could have had the Yoda scene, but I think Yoda's better.
Yeah.
But yeah, Luke is an old man talking to his dead father's ghost, who is locked in at 25 or whatever. that would have been a little weird.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, the name of the gentleman who plays Kylo Ren.
Who plays
Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it just me, or does he look like John Travolta? Like a young John Travolta, like a Saturday Night Fever.
Well, I hadn't really thought of that.
Age John Travolta, because that's all I can see when I look at him. and it completely makes me not take him seriously at all as a character. I mean, I don't care how many people he force chokes.
Yeah.
He's just any minute now he's gonna slap on a white disco suit and boogie down. I mean,
I don't know. Watching him play this part is one of the great pleasures of this trilogy, I think so far. I really love what he's doing with Kylo Ren. It's it's so different, and I am very into it. I'm very into well, I guess he's the most interesting of the new characters. And if what he told Rey is true, that she has no connection to the Skywalker bloodline or anything, then he's the last Skywalker. So when he goes, the whole episode trilogy can effectively end because there's no more Skywalkers, because this is a Skywalker story.
Mm-hmm.
Episodes 1 through 9, right? Well, I guess let's ask that question real quick. Did he tell Rey the truth? Were her parents nobody? Do you think JJ's going to come in and be like, "Oh, actually"?
I hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I that's one of the things that I really liked is that, it wasn't like, she's a long lost Skywalker or
Obi-Wan Kenobi's granddaughter or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Either way would have been fine for me. I'm perfectly fine with this being the case. It completely fits in with the themes of this movie. And this is a very theme-driven movie. The themes being that, blowing up Death Stars is not always the answer. And sometimes we just have to survive.
But it feels good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it feels good.
They've blown up 3 Death Stars now, counting the Starkiller base, and 4 if you count the thing that Anakin blew up in Phantom Menace, which was kind of a prelude to a Death Star explosion, the droid control ship. That's let's say they blew up 3.5 Death Stars. This is
0.5 of a Death Star. Oh wow!
And the Resistance is worse off now than it's ever been. So, and of course, the real reason they're worse off than they've ever been is because, they have to keep making these movies. And the stakes always have to go up. So that's the real reason. But the in-world reason is, I think, that's compelling. That hey, we keep blowing up Death Stars and it doesn't really ultimately matter. The evil's still there, and it just keeps on coming, and it keeps on coming. And I think Rose had a point when she saved, Finn's life. A lot of people have issues with that action, but that whole moment of telling him that, this is how we win. This is how we stay alive. I
think that's my favorite moment in the movie. Really.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Now I really like Rose. She may be the only person that I really like of the new cast.
I was sad when she died, and then happy when she didn't.
Yeah. I mean, I was sad when Luke died too, because that was.
Oh sure.
But it was so well done.
Yeah.
And that moment of quiet in this whole crashing, destruction fest is.
Well, it's not exactly the Fast and the Furious, but yeah, no, I love that it could take those moments, which even George Lucas was having trouble finding in the prequels.
Yeah.
There's moments in Revenge of the Sith that beg for a moment, moments that beg for the pause button to kind of, let us just absorb what's happening here and the gravity of it. But there was just too much business to get through.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm being attacked by a cat.
I think that this is certainly of the Disney Star Wars. This movie, you know, is the most auteur driven, if you want to call it that. I mean, it's like clearly when you're watching it, you can feel, even if you don't know Rian Johnson or that it's him or that it's one guy who wrote and directed and did all this. It's the first one that really seems like it's of a piece, you know, with itself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing, you know, the sort of, you know, looming backlash, the organized backlash. The one thing that I don't want to see come out of that is Disney all of a sudden, you know, we're not going to take chances anymore.
Yeah.
You know, even though, you know, this one I'm sure had to go through, you know, 20 levels of executive approvals to get where it was. You know, the fact that something made through that, you know, may not have been perfect, but it still had, you know, idiosyncrasies. You know, it still had its own quirkiness to it that was, you know, different, but still recognizably Star Wars. That's something that I would like to see keep. And, you know, that's the thing that scares me a little bit about what is happening with Solo, a Star Wars movie, is that they took two directors, you know, who, you know, have their own style, and they were trying something different. And at the 11th hour, they were like, "No, stop it."
Yeah. It's an odd situation, and maybe we should talk about that more when that movie rolls around.
Oh, certainly. Yeah.
We will
In May.
But, yeah, which is
in
weird.
May.
Here we are, early February. We have not seen one frame of that yet. I mean, literally. I think there's like a group photo with the directors who got fired in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon with all the actors, and that's it. I mean, it's kind of unthinkable, isn't it? That, I mean, when there, like a story hit the web the other day that we have some plot details and character clues based on this Lego toy box that leaked of Solo, a Star Wars story Legos that they're trying to, you know, sell to marketers, to retailers. Anyway,
the name of the Lego set, The Funeral of Lando Calrissian.
What? Doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be so good, you guys. You just wait. They're gonna completely pull this thing. No.
Yes, because going through several directors is not at all a troubling sign.
Right.
No.
Well, the thing about it, I said, you know, let's not talk about this right now. But I can't resist saying this. There's this, you know, part of the big, you know, this thing's a train wreck, you know, is that they say Alden Ehrenreich, the actor playing Han Solo, he can't act, so they hired an acting coach. In the middle of filming, they hired an acting coach to teach him how to act, because he was just so awful. And I thought, well, hang on, Harrison Ford wasn't really any kind of great actor. You know, not until well after the Star Wars movies, the first three wrapped, did he kind of bone up his skills in certain films, like Witness or whatever. You know,
it's not like we haven't survived wooden performances before. I mean,
touche. Well,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so they brought in an acting coach. I mean, the only reason that would make any sense at all is just how do we get him to act like Harrison Ford?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I just saw him in Hail Caesar. I finally caught that. And again, you know, in the back of my mind, when I think about what's happening with the Star Wars films, I think back to that movie now.
Sure. Yeah.
I can only imagine, all the studio heads just sort of running about. It's like, oh no, our star's been kidnapped. And
would that it. What's the line? Would that it would only be so, or would Ray finds the. Oh, that's hilarious. And then the Warren Beatty film as well. He's okay in that. The last the one of you all the rules, no rules don't apply. That's what it is. The rules don't apply movie. Instantly forgettable Warren Beatty film. Weird. Okay, so back on track. I'll just say the casino scene. Going back to that, everybody says it's the most useless part of the movie. It's a half hour that could go. It's two side characters running around doing a side plot that doesn't end up mattering at all. It's a failure. And besides the uniqueness and the novelty of it just being a failure and how that fits in with the whole rest of the film, I'll go out on a limb and say I suspect that in some ways the casino scene will be the most important scene, the most important part, as far as what comes down the road in episode 9. We
all have our own casino scenes.
The scene that it's everyone else hates it and you say, no, that's the best scene. I'm not saying it's the best scene. I'm just saying that the business with the kid at the end and the ring, not that we're necessarily going to see that kid again, that exact kid, but what happened there.
That exact kid.
Yeah. The seed that was planted. I mean, the seed that was planted, I think, is the new hope. That makes the whole thing pick up a steam again, and that's the biggest deal going on. They went off track and they did something and it didn't work. It's but this other thing came of it, and the Force works in mysterious ways. Then I don't know. I think that's what we will have. I suspect that may be the case. And if it's not the case, I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to demand that episode 9 be yanked from canon for that reason.
Well, not for that reason.
Not for that reason.
No.
Yeah, if we don't see those Force ghosts at the end, I'll demand that episode 9 be yanked from the canon. Yeah, big J.J. Abrams movie to look forward to. Yeah. So, anyway, any other closing thoughts? Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Well, okay. It's ZekeTalk, everybody, and we were talking about Star Wars: The Last Jedi tonight, if you hadn't noticed. And we do this show every week, more or less. Mike and I, and sometimes Kristin's here. I think this is your third one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. You're the first 3-time guest, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Is that right, Mike? Has Jeff been here 3 times?
I
think he only did the 2.
I think he's only done 2, yes. I think John may have done 3.
John may have done 3. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so
John more than 3.
You're tied with John Gross. Okay. Well, anyway, subscribe to this this link. Subscribe to this channel, this feed, however you're getting this. We do really appreciate that. Hop over to our website, which is ZekeFilm, ZekeFilm, ZekeFilm.org. And we are a non-for-profit organization devoted to community through cinema and fostering, conversation through these shared experiences of cinema. So go off and check out the site. You can read a lot of reviews and things there, a lot of good stuff. So thanks for being with us. And thank you guys. Thank you, Kristin, and thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy trail.
Oh, my goodness.